Hello everybody, welcome back to the Writer channel. Time for another of our weekly videos about using AI to enhance your marketing team's capabilities. This week, we're going to look at a playbook, a great set of instructions for an agent that creates an event brief. Now, what I love about LLM-powered agents is their ability to go deep into a bunch of messy data and extract rich insights. In this case, the Event Brief book is going to look back at the last time you held this event, figure out which booths were most active, the kind of leads you generated, the pipeline that was actually won from that sales, and give you recommendations based on this for how you can capitalize on everything you're looking forward to planning this year. All right, if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned, and my colleague Ryan from the field marketing team will walk you through exactly how the playbook works.
For our first example, you can see that the event team used Writer Agent and Playbooks to produce a comprehensive event brief, which you see here, that includes lessons learned from last year's event and plans for the upcoming year. All details in the tabs on the side. And we also used Writer Agent and Playbooks to produce an Asana project plan here with nested tasks and completed timeline. This event brief highlights insights like which booth location drove the most traffic, which session formats generated the best leads, how attendees responded to product demos, and 3 different qualified pipeline opportunities worth $2 million that came directly from this event. So, normally, creating an event brief like this would take days of coordination across marketing, sales, and operation teams. But with Writer Agent, they generated this brief and project plan in under 30 minutes. Let me show you how. The team created these assets using a playbook. So, what exactly are playbooks? Playbooks are your team's workflows, orchestrated by Writer Agent. They capture the steps behind complex processes so they can be repeated instantly with new inputs. Here is our event brief creator and the playbook we used to get the results we just saw. Here we can see all of the different steps in the playbook to get to our outputs. The input for this playbook was a post-mortem document that we used. This post-mortem document was created in a previous Writer Agent session and saved in the team's event notes folder. The playbook analyzes the post-mortem to then extract the lessons that were learned, the ROI metrics and investment analysis, the attendee feedback themes, the sales wins, and the opportunities attributed to the event that we saw in our event brief output. In addition to the post-mortem from last year, our playbook has inputs for the upcoming event date, website, and a place for any other optional notes to include from the field marketing team. Maybe these are just some initial ideas from the event lead or even the transcript from a live brainstorm the team had about this year's event. From there, it then uses these insights to inform the event brief for the next event. But here's where it gets really powerful. Before the brief is finalized, it runs through 2 different custom skills. First, the PMM messaging doc skill, which ensures all product positioning and messaging is consistent with our current go-to-market strategy. And then the event template skill, which structures everything according to our standard event brief format, the same format for our executive team and what they expect to see. So let's take a look at our last playbook run so you can see how simple this actually is. Earlier, the team completed their post-mortem session analyzing their last conference attendance. Instead of manually synthesizing all of those insights into a brief, they uploaded the post-mortem notes directly into the playbook as an input. Because after spending time capturing all of those learnings, the last thing that we want to do is to spend another few hours reformatting everything. As you can see, this post-event report is extremely long, 35 pages to be exact. So here we can see we added the event information as requested, ran the playbook, and with that information, the output was the event brief in the team's formatting, as well as the Asana project here. I've often heard that while this looks powerful, it also can look a bit complicated to set up. So let me show you just how easy it is to create a playbook exactly like this one. In fact, Writer Agent can actually generate the entire playbook automatically. Let's create one together from scratch. Here we are in Writer's homepage. I'll start with a very simple prompt. For sake of timing, I've copied and pasted it here. I need a playbook that takes an event post-mortem document from last year's event and information about the upcoming event to create an event brief. The brief should extract lessons learned, ROI, feedback, and sales opportunities. Use our PMM messaging doc skill and event template skill. Then, create a project plan in Asana with milestones and tasks. When you run the playbook, Writer will actually give you context and write the playbook instructions for you. This is a huge time saver because many teams get stuck worrying about how to structure their workflows correctly. Workflows do matter, but what matters more is simply providing context and letting the agent structure the steps. And within about a minute, Writer Agent generates a playbook that looks almost identical to the one that we just walked through. You can review it, adjust it as needed, and then add it into your playbooks accordingly. And just like that, you've created an automated event brief playbook that ensures every event builds on to the learnings from the last one. Back over to you, Ben.
All right, as you can see, this playbook does a ton of different things, also talks back to Asana. You've got rich connectors here so you can figure out what your pipeline was, what sales were closed, what booths were important. This is the way to go from a meeting and email and conversation with potential action items to I've got a full plan delivered to me in 30 minutes or less that makes sense of what worked last year and helps us plan so we can leverage those learnings for the event to come. If this is interesting to you and you want to learn more about how we use AI right here at Writer to enhance what we do on the marketing team, you can subscribe. We'll be back every week with another video showing off a playbook or AI agent. And if you want to learn more about skills, check out the link in the description to a recent webinar we held, which is now available as a video on demand. That's it for this week. Talk to you again soon.